So I got reintroduced to pro wrestling in a strange way back in 2024. Without going into too many details, let's just say it was by finding some WWE Elite figures in the back of a stolen car on my job. After giving those toys to my kids, it sent me and them down a rabbit hole, which led to me buying WWE 2K24 later that year. Which, for context, I got heavily discounted at that point. And I played the heck out of it. Mind you, that the last wrestling game I had played up until that point was SmackDown vs. Raw 09 on the PS3. So I was massively out of the loop. I was actually excited to pick up 2K25 when it had launched, as it looked like the dev team had taken the time to build on what we had gotten in the last release, which was a good thing, because I felt as though 2K24 was an enjoyable experience for the most part. So I took the big leap and dropped 130 on the Bloodline edition at launch. And when I tell you I won't make that mistake again, I mean that. Okay, let me explain. 2K25 is an okay game, and definitely improved on 2K24 in a lot of ways. But 2K did itself no favors with me as my first time experience buying this game at launch. From the amount of bugs that made this game unplayable after the patch updates, to the bugs that were ruining cause, and don't get me started on the DLC fiasco that was Travis Scott and the other celebrities. It's been a frustrating experience, and I could really go on and on about my problems with this game. What's good, family? T-Rex Carter here, and I finally got me a camera set up, so these talking head videos will now actually be just that. This was something that I had been wanting to do for a while now, and with the overabundance of AI slop all over the place, I decided it was finally time to put a face to the name. Now let's actually do what this video was intended to do. Shed some light on some things that we want to see implemented in 2K26. First off, get rid of Showcase. If I wanted to relive matches from the past, I could always pull up those videos from the many sources available online. Stop gatekeeping unlockables behind this nonsense. That woman's Money in the Bank with Tamina was way too difficult to perform all of the tasks while also making sure that you don't lose the match. If you want another flagship scripting mode like it, then bring back Road to WrestleMania with unique stories from multiple superstars. But if you insist on keeping Showcase, then no more timed objectives, please. Side note, the whole purpose of the accelerator was to unlock everything in the game. Why is some stuff still locked behind certain modes? My faction cards, I get it, but there should be nothing locked behind Showcase and my rise if I have the accelerator. Minimal to no celebrity packs. We should not get non-wrestlers in a season pass that we paid money for in a wrestling game. That money for licensing should go to former wrestlers and their families, not modern millionaires. The only way I would be cool with a celebrity pack is if it's a surprise additional DLC that was optional, just like how we got the WrestleMania pack as well as the farewell tour for John Cena. It isn't included in the season pass. That would actually tell you the data on how many people were interested in having celebrities in the game based on how many people actually purchased it. On top of all that, we had the whole Travis Scott fiasco, where they couldn't come to terms on a deal, and then he had the controversial Netflix documentary drop, and it was just a whole mess. And as the consumer, we were the ones who got screwed because they delayed the DLC character, and then it ended up just being a Chad Gable reskin with the Grande Americano. All right, let me move on because I'm starting to get pissed all over again. Season pass packs need to come out sooner. There is no way I should be getting season pass content releasing for a yearly game 3 months before the new game comes out. I know the purpose of it is to keep the game fresh through the life of it, but there are other ways to do that, like with my faction, and now you have island content. If I paid in advance for a season pass, I want to be able to use those wrestlers for at least 5 to 6 months before the new game comes out. So condense the pack releases so they come out closer to the original launch. Weapon grapples and physics. Weapons have too much of a limited use. We should be able to set them up in unique ways, as well as initiate grapples with them to create more unique interactions. In older titles, we had a lot more freedom with weapons, allowing us to virtually place them anywhere we wanted. And we had the ability to lean ladders against the ropes and against other ladders and run up them. Setting up a chair in the middle of the ring and putting our opponent's head on it or wedging it in the corner to recreate iconic spots would be a welcome addition. Would also like to see weapon finishers implemented back into the game like we had back in the day. Being able to pull off moves like the Van Daminator and the double concerto would add a much needed variety and enticement to using weapons in the game. And for the love of God, please add thumbtacks. I know we don't see them that often on TV anymore, but if we can get Abyss's weapon Janus in the game, thumbtacks are pretty calm. Creation Suite porting. Why have we not had the ability to port our creations to the next year's version of the game? Now, I'm no expert on this, but I know there are changes made to the code. But from an end user perspective, it seems as though the general framework for the Creation Suite as a whole is the same from last year. So you would think at least some level, some creations should be able to be moved to future versions of the games. Now, I know this may not be a popular opinion, but I wouldn't mind seeing a web-based Creation Suite make an appearance, like how EA does with their team builder, but only as an option, not the main thing. This would allow 2K to make changes to the game through patches and updates without breaking cause like they have in the past few years. If it were to have some adverse effect on the cause, their data would be stored on the website and not in the game itself. Bring back Superstar Threads. Right now, when we download alternate attires from community creations, it takes up a call slot, and this is problematic for several reasons. One is they only give us 100 call slots, and a good portion of the roster comes into the game with outdated attires already. So I end up filling up my call slots with updated gear before I even get to download actual calls. And two, depending on how the person designed the call, it may fill up my image allotment before I even reach 100. Bringing back Superstar Threads is essential to fixing this problem, as sometimes it is just simple recolors of their current attires, and each superstar should be able to get a max of 4 attire slots. And everyone having a designated slot for promo gear is also a must, especially for Universe mode. It adds so much more to the feel of this being our own WWE production. More in-depth faction management. We need the ability to assign a leader to a faction, and someone in a manager role specifically. That way those people only come out in those spots. I think the basis for what we have is close to what I'm looking for. I just want more defined parameters. And getting more generic interests for factions would also be welcome as well. Match specific super finishers. Okay, so I understand their thought process behind super finishers, but I think it could be more useful when thinking of them being done in special match types. Just follow me for a second. We already saw that they gave us the ability to skip levels in the ladder match minigame when we have a finisher stockpiled. Take that a step further and allowing us to clear the minigame completely if we have a super finisher saved up, but present it in a special cutscene of an OMG type of moment to finish the match. Now apply that same logic to casket and ambulance matches, table and cage matches. It would really open up the presentation elements in the game, as well as making that super finisher payoff reward that much more sweet. Condensing the roster select screen. This is one that really does aggravate me. I get it. Companies use buzzwords to sell a product like the biggest roster in a WWE game ever. But when you fire up the game and there's like 6 Undertakers, 5 Triple H's, 5 Hulk Hogan's, 6 John Cena's, 4 Rhea's, and 5 Romans, that's just hyperbole, but you get what I mean. This should be condensed down to where if you select Undertaker, then a menu pops up that shows all of the Taker variants, and you select from there. Even if the name is different, we still know it's the same person, just a different persona. Side note on that, that's how persona cards should also be displayed, as alternative attires to the superstar you selected, instead of a completely different superstar. It takes entirely too much effort to scroll through the roster screen. Granted, more subcategories and filters would also help, but I'm completely over it at this point. Now let me reiterate something. These are just some things I want to see implemented in the game overall. stuff that can be accessed and changed within the main menu. With me getting back into wrestling, it's really opened my eyes to other content that I have a vision for implementing on this channel. So I hope you guys will stick around, as I have more mode specific changes I would like to see coming up in later videos. So drop a like and a sub so you don't have to miss out when those videos drop. And if you could, down in the comment section, let me know some things you want to see make their way into WWE 2K26 and beyond. I hope y'all enjoyed the video, and until next time, stay blessed, y'all. I'm out.